Welcome to Day 2 of Home to You with Laerdal from IMSH 2023 in Orlando, Florida. Here's your host, Lindsay Kowalski.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Day 2 of our Home to You with Laerdal series from IMSH 2023. My name is Lindsay Kowalski, and I am delighted to be bringing you the latest insights and key takeaways from the world's largest healthcare simulation and education conference. Stay tuned for an interview with Dr. Kelly Bryant, a look at our SimMan 3G Plus and Nursing and Simulator platform, a chat with our very own Executive Chairman, Tora Laerdal, following his acceptance of the Pioneer in Simulation Award, plus the latest buzz from attendees on the conference floor. Let's get started. The theme this year at IMSH is a standard of excellence. For us at Laerdal, that means elevating for impact for everyone in the shared community. In our next interview, we're taking a look at diversity, equality, and inclusion throughout the healthcare sector. Joining me now is Dr. Kelly Bryant from Columbia University School of Nursing to share some insights on how a comprehensive approach can benefit simulation training. Hi, Dr. Bryant. Thank you very much for joining us here on the exhibition floor at IMSH 2023.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk about diversity, equity, inclusion in simulation.
Can you tell us, what are the initial steps that should be taken when implementing inclusivity in simulation experiences?
I would say one of the first steps is looking at your simulation environment. Take a look at your mannequins, your task trainers, even down to the pictures on the wall. Do you have diversity in your equipment and the things that you see in your simulation center? Now in 2023, I have to say here at IMSH, there are so many options for increasing diversity of your mannequins. We have a lot of these companies have 3 different skin tones. When it comes to the task trainer, there's so many different skin varieties. So that's the first step, is just including that in your simulation center. And then after that, you really want to focus on your curriculum. So when you're looking at your curriculum, where can you embed diversity, equity, inclusion into your scenarios in a meaningful way? So meaning, as you look at that case scenario, can you add some diversity? Can you add religion, and then having it as a learning outcome so the students can actually address it? Or language, or a person's culture, and embedding that into our scenarios. So working to first embed in your curriculum, making sure as a facilitator that you have the necessary education and background before you implement the simulation. Sometimes that includes having content experts, because we can't be competent in all cultures. So going to someone that can help you develop those scenarios so that you're making sure you're not having stereotypes in scenarios and making sure it's as accurate as possible. Those are some of the first steps, I would say.
Yeah, wonderful, thank you. You just shared a few, but are there any other tips you can share to help empower simulation programs to start incorporating DEI into their curriculum?
I would say just start somewhere. Like I discussed before, starting with your simulation center, but also as a facilitator or as an educator, educating yourself. So the good thing about having conferences like IMSH, there are so many opportunities to learn more about DEI, whether it's going to workshops, they have webinars now, there's even online courses that you can take or online classes, and also just reading, because there's a lot of articles that are coming out now that are addressing DEI. So I would say that's the first step, is really getting as much knowledge as you can so that you can be effective when you implement those DEI simulations. And another tip I would say is look at examples of institutions or organizations who are doing a great job, and don't be afraid to reach out to them to ask them, can you give me some advice or some pointers on how we can get started with embedding DEI to our simulations?
Those are some really great tips. Thanks for sharing that with us. Is there an example or success story that comes to your mind when discussing DEI in simulation or curriculum?
I would say, I don't have one particular story, but I would say when I'm doing a lot of this DEI or anti-racism type of scenarios, what I find rewarding is when the learner comes back to you and say, thank you. Thank you for having us go through the simulation, because I've had X, Y, and Z incidents happen in the hospital and I didn't know what to do about it. I witnessed a patient that experienced, implicit bias, and I felt bad because I didn't speak up or advocate for the patient. But I'm glad that you were here to give us those tools, so the next time it happens, I'll be able to do something about it and be an upstander. I think those are the stories that keep me going, and I realize the importance of doing this type of work.
That must be really powerful to have them come back to you and tell you that the tools you gave them, they've been able to use in their practice. And lastly, what resources have you used in the past to develop diverse and inclusive curriculum or scenarios?
I guess can't say there's like one resource. I found so many. I took even an online course. I did a Google search and looked for kind of peer-reviewed and valid either articles, toolkits, even going to a lot of webinars myself from the experts and taking notes. So I kind of compiled my own library of resources and used that for the materials that I put together. But I would say if you're, again, just starting out and you want to find some scenarios or activities that you could just pull off the shelf and use with maybe a little bit of tweaking and touch, MedEd Portal was one that I really go to a lot. They have a great catalog. They have a DEI catalog of just scenarios, and they have everything. They'll have the videos, they have the evaluation tools, a facilitator guide, and then they have another catalog that's an anti-racist curriculum. So I get a lot of ideas from that, and then I use it to, you know, again, make changes, revisions that'll fit my student population, but I find that's a great place to start.
Thank you very much for sharing those resources and for your time today. It was really great to speak to you. I hope you have a great rest of IMSH 2023.
Thank you, and thank you again for this interview.
Thank you.
Welcome to Orlando. My name is Tracy Mulcahy, and I'm super excited to talk to you about SimMan 3G Plus today. So last year at IMSH, we launched SimMan 3G Plus, and today I want to talk to you about how exciting it is that we've added even more exciting components to SimMan 3G Plus, like our SonoSim ultrasound solution, our ASL 5000 lung solution, and let's not forget your ability to use your own patient monitors with our Vitals Bridge 4. More importantly than anything else about SimMan 3G Plus is you have the backing of Laerdal and our mission, which is so important to us, of helping save lives. We are super excited to help you along your road to help us save more than 1 million lives every year to the year 2030. One of the most exciting things too is that diversity and DEI and our ability to be able to have interchangeable head skins. And so we're so excited for you to see that also. So I'm going to turn it over to Dean now to talk more about that.
Well, thank you very much, Tracy. So 4 years ago, the Nursing and Simulator was unveiled at IMSH, just like today. But then it was a simulator designed by nurses for nurses. Now she's one simulator, many patients. This is awesome because it totally builds diversity and inclusion for gender equality. So we have 4 pre-assembled versions of the Nursing and Simulator. We've got the male, female, African descent, and geriatric, which all come in medium and dark skin tones. Along with our partners at the NLN, they've developed further education for the LGBTQ community as well. Thank you.
This year's IMSH conference is especially meaningful for us at Laerdal. Our executive chairman, Tora Laerdal, has received the Pioneer in Simulation Award. This award is given to recognize individuals who have had a significant and sustained impact on simulation and its application to healthcare. The award was given for his leadership in the advancement of simulation in healthcare education and for the work that has been done and continues to be done to create sustainable impact in low and middle income countries. Let's hear what he had to say about this prestigious award and our initiatives to reduce neonatal mortality and stillborn and maternal deaths.
I think it's a recognition of what so many have contributed to over decades. And to me, it's also a recognition that simulation is really not about the simulator. It's not about the fancy technology we see in this exhibit. It's about the educational methodology, and it's about the opportunity to implement better what has proven to work. And it's really been a privilege to help to bring simulation to low, medium income countries, and I'm very glad that was acknowledged. It's shown that 98% of all maternal and newborn deaths are occurring in low, medium income countries. And in very many cases, it's so easy steps that are required to save a life, and quality of life is important as well. So it's rubbing the back, it's making a baby or helping a baby to start breathe, it's controlling a postpartum hemorrhage, and hundreds of thousands are dying for lack of the most basic competency and availability of trained birth attendants.
Now it's time for the Home to You Word on the Street, when we ask conference attendees about their experience here at IMSH 2023.
It is always so encouraging and exciting to just see how many excited faces there are here. I remember the first time I came to IMSH, I really wasn't sure what size the conference would be or how many people would be here. I think a lot of times in our environments, we sort of think like the sim group can be a small subset of individuals, and it's always just really exciting to see how many of us are really out there.
I've learned that there's a lot of vendors here. It's more than I've probably ever seen before.
So I started out yesterday at the first presentation, and I think what I've loved so much is the speakers at the beginning, the plenary sessions, at the introductions. They've just been so inspiring, and it's just been wonderful to start the day with all that charge, everybody on the same page and feeling all that energy.
I'm a clinical pharmacist and working as a clinical simulation specialist in my country, So it was a great opportunity to over here, to learn about new things and new innovations in medical education. That's what we need a lot right now, to teach our medical graduates and medical students. So how the clinicians are going to be enhance their skills and the surgeons are going to enhance their skills. So this is it,
I am looking forward to learning about applying escape rooms in my sim lab and making that free work to prepare them more for the patient interaction.
Thank you for joining us for the second episode of Home to You with Laerdal from IMSH 2023. It's been another busy and fascinating day on the conference floor. Tune in tomorrow for our final daily roundup. See you then.
Be sure to tune in at the same time tomorrow for the daily roundup of Day 3 at IMSH 2023 for Home to You with Laerdal.
If you enjoyed this program, then you'll probably also enjoy our 1 Million Lives podcast on laerdal.com/podcast or on your favorite podcast platform.